Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this. Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean...
You were supposed to bring death to the flagships, not join them.
Google has found a new way to piss me off.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
Every time I say it, it's going to suck even more.
Everyone's idiots.
I am Nadella.
I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing.
Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast, and I am your host. My name is Wes, and I'm here with Landen.
Hello.
And Caleb.
I sure hope my audio sounds better this week.
Yeah, just a little. I mean, if you would record your audio, it would help.
Yeah, that does help. Just a peek behind the curtain, listener. Landen is recording backup audio for both me and Wes. And what happened to my audio last week is what it sounds like if he has to use it.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. It was not the funnest thing to find out later that file he had to upload was only 20 megabytes.
Yeah. That's not right.
It's not right at all.
That ain't right.
Well, listener, we have a special episode. We always like to do an episode called our Wishlist episode, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm excited. Landen, Caleb, you guys excited for this one?
Always.
I'm excited for the episode. I don't know how excited I am for 2026. I'll put it that way.
That's
True.
fair.
Well, all right. Well, why don't we go ahead and get into this? A couple questions we always like to ask is, who won this year?
Yeah.
And usually it's Landen. I don't know why. He always wins every year.
I didn't win last year. Well, to be fair, I did do the best last year, but I wouldn't say that I won.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. Nobody
Fair.
won last year.
Well, why don't we get into it? Let's start with Landen. Landen, why don't you give us your wish list from last year, see if you won, and then give us your new one.
I mean, do you want to start on a high note, or do you want to go down, or do you want to go up? Because I can already say I did win this year.
Ooh.
Did you already win? I mean, why don't we get that out of the way? And then it sounds like Caleb might be the downer, and hopefully I can bring the nose back up at the end. We'll see. I don't know. Okay.
You're going to stick me in the middle. You guys can try and
We'll try.
Try and lift from both ends. That's
we'll
fair.
start it off with a bang. How's that? Go ahead, Landen.
All right. So last year I had 4 things on my wish list, and I had saved, I'd put in a note somewhere what my wish list was, and I went back to it this past week, and I thought, wow, I actually did pretty good this week. And then I listened to the episode. I'm like, yeah, especially compared to last year, I did great. Because last year I think I had 1.5, I think is what I ended up giving myself.
Just still better than me.
Yeah, and me.
But yeah, this year I had 4 things on my wish list, and I got 3 of them.
Dang.
And one of which I had to look up some information to find out if I actually did get it, and I am completely shocked that I did. So, in order of how I went last year, my first thing on my 2025 wish list was for an Android flagship to have Qi 2. And I even specified real Qi 2, not the fake Qi 2 that they were doing previous. I wanted magnets in the device, Qi 2, and I did win that. But
you barely scraped by on that one.
Yep. There was one flagship phone. The Pixel phones had Qi 2. Everything else still doesn't. But that one, I can call it a win because
you got it.
I didn't ask for a bunch of Android flagships. I asked for one, and I got one.
Just one.
So there's 1 point. And then last year, there were all the rumors about the iPhone coming with a slim version. And as much as we hated the idea of that happening, it did happen. And we still hate the idea of it that it happened. But my second wish list item was, if there is a slim iPhone, I want more battery in the Pro iPhone. And I got that. There was a slim iPhone, and the Pro iPhones both got bigger batteries.
Yeah.
Thank you, Apple.
That's true.
So that one I actually thought was kind of a shot in the dark. I thought Apple was just going to, stay the same as they always have, come out with this new phone and keep the other ones all the same. But no, they actually made changes for the better on everything but the Air, because obviously that's not better for anyone. And then another one, this is the one that I did not win, and I still want it. But a standalone Apple Watch did not happen.
That's right.
And I didn't necessarily think that it would. It's a wish list, you gotta
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
And then the Hail Mary that I threw out that has been there. I've had this for a couple years. Last year it was not my Hail Mary, but this year it was. And it was for Google to go 1 calendar year without killing something major.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
And shockingly, that one I got. Because the last major thing that Google... Now, I will say, they did kill some things in 2025.
Well, of course.
But the last major thing that they killed was the Chromecast, and that was in 2024.
Oh.
And even then,
that's right.
I'm on the Killed by Google website, because that's the place that tracks all this stuff for you.
Yep.
And the last there's only two things that happened. Well, one thing that happened in 2025. And that was something I'd never heard of. It's called Tables by A120. Don't know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, nope.
That was killed 20 days ago. That's the only thing.
Huh.
Wow. The thing before that was Google Jamboard, which was something I had heard about. But that was also killed in 2024.
Dang.
Right at the very end of 2024.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
there's that Tables by A120 that I never heard of. And then they also are killing in January of this year, like 2026. They're killing dark web reports, which I'm not entirely sure how that really affects any. Like, there's some people that did you could search for dark web reports of your own personal information via Google. I don't even know how you did that, but it was a thing. But obviously, it wasn't a very mainstream thing, so they're killing it, and it's not dead yet. There's still 10 more days left of that.
Wow. So that's just incredible.
Yeah, the Hail Mary thing that I did not in any way. Like, this was less likely than a standalone Apple Watch in my mind. Was Google going 1 calendar year without killing anything major.
Dang.
And they did it.
Good job.
They did it. So 3 out of 4, I definitely won. Great year for me.
That's pretty
at least
solid.
when it comes to my wish list. We're not going to go into other things.
Good job, though, dude. Hit them all out of the park.
Yeah.
Boom.
All right. Now, on to my 2026 wish list. I want a major phone manufacturer, and I put it that way, meaning, thinking, okay, I'm thinking I want either Samsung, Apple, or Google, because those are the major phone manufacturers inside of the U.S. And I have to specify that because this has happened outside of the U.S., and I'll get to it. So I want a major phone manufacturer to use a silicon carbon battery in a phone. And you could say, well, OnePlus has done that, and Xiaomi has done that. I'm like, yes, but Xiaomi doesn't sell in the U.S., and OnePlus, I would not consider a major phone manufacturer right now. Yeah. They are fairly well known in the tech sphere, but when you ask any just random person out there what OnePlus is, they're probably not going to know what it is.
Yep. Is that a streaming service?
Yeah.
No, that's Apple Plus.
But I want to, and I could say even Motorola could fall under this because most people have heard of Motorola.
Sure.
They may not have the market share that they used to, but they are a well-known phone manufacturer. So I'll include them in the list. So Apple, Google, Samsung, or Motorola, someone in that realm of OEMs. I want them to use silicon carbon batteries in at least a phone. Doesn't have to be. I'm not even specifying a flagship because I doubt that's going to happen. Unless it was Apple. They might put it in one of their main phones, but because they only have main phones, really. But yeah, I want that to happen. My next one. I want the AI boom to start its plateau. Because I don't think it's like we kind of talked about this a little while ago. I think it's going to be like what Caleb mentioned a little while ago, kind of how the Bitcoin and that type of thing went. It had its major boom, and then it's just kind of plateaued. It's not going anywhere, but it's not. Well, okay, that's kind of going somewhere.
With both Bitcoin and like NFTs, that's
NFTs.
Not the, NFTs, that's the one. I have purged that term from my mind. Yeah,
we
the monkey
want
pictures.
NFC.
With both of those, there was a boom and then a crash, and then in the case of Bitcoin, it stabilized and kind of
that's true.
plateaued after the crash. And I suspect that with AI, that's what'll happen. Is we're in the boom, there's going to be a crash, and it's not going to cease to exist after the crash. It's just massively overinflated for what it should be right now, and it'll plateau somewhere below. But yeah, that's
what I'm kind of hoping. I'm not saying I want it to get there. I want it to start to where it's like, okay, we can see it's not climbing anymore.
Yes,
exponentially. It's starting to crest to where it's either going to go down or just flatten out. One of the, I don't care which, but I want that to happen this year sometime. Again, this is a wish list. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but I want to see it. Please.
Right. I agree with this wish.
My next one is not going to affect me in any way. But I want this to happen. I want Microsoft to make a new, usable version of Windows.
Windows 12.
Pretty much.
There it is.
Now, I say that it's not going to affect me. It's not going to affect me this. If they were to come out with it this year, it wouldn't affect me for a while because my work does use Windows on all the computers there, and they are currently on Windows 11. But even then, like, I don't use the computers on any sort of like in-depth way. So even Windows 11 on my work computers doesn't really affect me other than, yes, it is kind of annoying in the way that it works sometimes, but for the most part, it's fine enough for me. But for everyone else that I know that uses Windows 11, like Caleb and other people, I want Microsoft to make a new usable version of Windows for them. Please. Show some compassion.
Otherwise, Satya, everyone will continue to call it AI slop. So just saying.
Yeah. Pretty much.
He I don't know if you guys saw that where he come out and said, I hope everyone gets over this year for not calling AI slop. Or that's not a quote, but that's pretty much what he said. And I'm like, oh, geez, you just opened a can of worms, homie. You should have done that.
I saw it. I saw it. Yeah. Oh, that was so funny. I was just like, Satya, no.
Speaking of not connected or who knows what's going on. Anyway,
so
go ahead.
My last wish list item. This is my Hail Mary. It is a repeat of last year. It's the one that didn't happen. I want a standalone Apple Watch.
Hey.
And I actually have a slightly higher degree of faith that this might happen. Only because of things that are happening legislatively in the EU that is making Apple open up certain things.
Yes.
And in the watch sphere as well, because they've made it so Apple has to open up what features are usable on non-Apple watches while connected to an iPhone. So because they've done that, I have a maybe 1% higher possibility of a standalone Apple Watch happening this year. Again, this is a wish list. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's my Hail Mary, and I would love to see it. So there's my 2026 wish list.
Very good.
Very, very good ones. All right. Caleb, let's take this boat down to make a submarine level, I
Yes.
guess. Just
Yeah. So
well, tell us if you won. Let's do that.
I was
Or,
going to say,
not won, but-
looking back at my 2025 wish list, I didn't do too badly, but I specifically had 5 items on my wish list so that it wasn't possible for me to like tie. You know, I couldn't have 50-50. And because I did that, I did not win. You know, but let's get into it. So the first item was for Apple to make me an iPhone SE that doesn't bite. And specifically, I called out that it needed to have a modern processor, which, okay, fair. An iPhone mini form factor, that was a long shot. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But the key thing was less than $500. What I got instead was an iPhone SE that did have a modern processor, a stupid camera, and no MagSafe charging that cost more than $500 by a cool, chill hundo. So, yeah, didn't get that one at all.
Yeah.
The second item on my 2025 wish list was for Apple Arcade to launch on Android. If only, man. If only.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, at the time, I was like, boy, if Apple doesn't give me an iPhone SE that I like, then I'm going to be switching to Android. And then I started looking at the prices for used iPhones and was like, I can get an iPhone that's better than the iPhone SE for less money than the iPhone SE if I buy a used one.
It wasn't hard to get an iPhone better than the SE this year.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's very true. But yeah, so am I currently sitting on the camp of nobody should buy brand new Apple products? Yes, that is after this past year where I have come down, with the exception of the M4 Mac Mini, hopefully, which will be updated to an M5 Mac Mini sometime in the coming year. Yeah, and the iPhone SE and the lack of Apple Arcade on Android. No, that one doesn't have anything to do with it. Just the iPhone SE. I'm still angry about it. All right. Third item on my wish list was for third-party storage upgrades to become available for the M4 Mac Mini. Sort of happened, right? We talked about last year how there was a company that had just released third-party storage upgrade options for the Mac Studio, and how they had said they were going to work on the Mac Mini next. They did, in fact, release one, and you can get a single option. It's 2 terabytes for about $230 or $320. It's something like that. And that is a lot of money for 2 terabytes of storage. However, Apple wants like $800 for the same upgrade.
Yeah.
So it's less than half the price of what Apple is charging for it. And it's fully compatible with the Mac Mini and whatnot. That's great. It is, however, the only option. So I'm not going to buy it myself, but there is a third-party storage upgrade option for the Mac Mini. So I'm taking that one. I get that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair.
The fourth item on my wish list from 2025 was, let's not go crazy on the tariffs, please. So many, many crazy things happened with regards to tariffs in the United States in 2025. However, looking back at it from the end of the year, the vast majority of it did not actually affect tech.
That's true. That is true.
Cars, food, stuff like that, sure, but not tech. Tech managed to get themselves exempted from the majority of those tariffs. So, I mean, I suppose I kind of got that. However, the economy also just did wild, insane, crazy things. Some of them related to tariffs, some of them not related to tariffs. Those things did affect tech. And, you know what? There was just too much weirdness for me to claim a win on this one. So I don't think I got that one, even if it wasn't necessarily the tariffs that went crazy. Everything else did instead. And then my last item, which I don't know if I can claim a win on this one, but I'm taking at least half a point, was an official release of SteamOS. SteamOS is officially supported on non-Valve made devices. There's a couple of them. So that's partial win there. And then there are options now that are broadly supported, like Bazite, which is what I'm literally using on my gaming PC right now to, do everything, that is SteamOS like and does kind of fit the bill. So I'm taking at least a half point on this one. So, arguably 2 items on my wish list, but that's still less than 50%. So dang, definitely not going to match the 75% that Landen got.
True.
All right. So moving on to 2026. Now, listener, I tried my best to be positive about this and did not end in a positive place. But, there's a few items on here that I think would be really, really great for tech in general. And there's a few items on here that are less a wish list. I mean, they are things that I wish would happen. But they're sort of phrased more as instructions to specific companies. We'll get there. First item. I would like some sort of OS level parental controls for Bazite or just Fedora in general. Or failing that, a comprehensive third-party toolset that supports Linux and is easy to deploy. Or failing that, an official release of SteamOS, right? Because I am using Linux on my gaming PC. It's great. I have 2 kids with gaming PCs. I would love to put Linux on their machines, but one of the nice things about Windows 10 is that it does allow me to monitor and, kind of put guardrails on their activity on those computers. That's kind of a non-negotiable for me. I need to have that in place. Mm-hmm. There are some things that you can do in just any Linux OS that will allow you to kind of manage that. But short of doing some really funky stuff with the firewall or controlling access for their IPs specifically on my router, there's some holes, right? It's not, and it's certainly not easy to deploy or easy to use. But this is kind of like the last thing that I feel like needs to exist in these simple to set up, easily deployable by the average consumer Linux distros before I can start just wholeheartedly recommending it to everyone I know, Mm-hmm. So that's sort of what I'm looking for. If it's parental controls baked into Bazite, that's great. If it's a third-party tool set that's fairly easy to deploy inside of a Linux distro that I can use, that's great. Or if it's an official release of SteamOS, which as far as I understand it, allows you to do the parental controls from Steam on an OS level, that's also great. I can work with any of those, but that's what I need to be in place.
That's a good one.
The second item on my wish list for 2026 is for the hardware modding community to start tailoring their efforts more toward normies. Okay? And as an example here, I have a thought. To convert an existing bike into an e-bike without electrical engineering experience as an example would be great. Currently, you can go buy yourself a speed controller and a motor, and they have even kits that will let you sort of replace the hub on your normal standard bike and whatnot. But getting it configured properly, getting it set up, and so the polarities are all correct and you don't have the wheel spinning backwards and stuff like that. There's more nuance to this than most average people would want to be involved with. Your average consumer doesn't, it's not even necessarily that they don't have the intelligence to do it, but they don't want to put that much time and effort into it, and they don't have the experience necessary for it to be simple. And so I would love because there is a very widely accessible hardware modding community for stuff like this on the internet, and I would like them to be tailoring their efforts more towards let's make it really easy for the average consumer to do this, rather than let's make the most wacky, crazy, weird thing that I possibly can. which is sort of how they're focused right now. And I feel like it would be a great service to the rest of us idiots if you were to maybe focus a little bit more towards making our lives a little bit less complicated. We would greatly appreciate it.
I like that. You explained it very well. I like that.
Yeah.
Please help us other idiots.
Yes, if you would.
Yes.
Okay, so next up, I have some instructions for 3 companies in particular. First up, Intel. Please pull through this. We need your GPUs, your CPUs, and your fabs to all be competitive in the industry as it stands right now. So please, 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 thank you. Apple,
Yes.
I'm benching you. You sit this year out. Do nothing, especially do not raise prices.
Oh, please.
That's you.
Ooh.
NVIDIA, go die in a cave somewhere. Okay? That's what you can do for all of us. And then this is the actual wish list item here. I would love for a global catastrophe of some sort that only affects AI data centers and developers. I was going to wish for RAM, storage, and GPU prices to all come down, and then I realized that was these are the same wish, right? Like that's the reason that they're all skyrocketing is because of AI. So if there was some kind of global catastrophe that just took out the AI stuff, prices would normalize. So yeah, that's the wish list item there.
I like it.
And then my Hail Mary. You've probably heard this one before, listener. You exist on the internet. I would love to live in precedented times. Like I'm really sick and tired of living in unprecedented times. I'm done.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd love to live in some precedented times. Just I want to know what that feels like. So yeah, that's my 2026 wish list.
Fair. That's a good one. I agree with a lot of those. All right. Well, I'll see if I can pull the shit back up.
Good luck.
Well, let's talk about my last year's wish list. First thing I talked about is I said I wanted to see Xbox hardware. Because at the time, they were rumoring the new console. They were rumoring the new handheld. Even so their handheld as well as the Asus handheld. They were rumoring all this. And so I said, if it's the Xbox hardware, I just want to know what it is. And I said, so I was like, sweet. So this year they announced the Asus handheld, which was a big success. Everyone's liking it, still selling really well. But I did last year give myself a guideline for this year that says if Xbox themselves don't release their own handheld, I don't get any points.
Yeah.
So I was going to give myself half a point, and then I listened to that. I was like, well, I got no points. So
Yep.
Because last year I don't get a point. So dang. All right. So the next thing on my wish list was I wanted so at the time when we recorded, the Switch 2 was rumored. And so I said at the time, I want the Switch 2 to be so cool that Landen would buy one. That was my wish list. Landen, did you buy a Switch 2?
Okay, so I have to say, I think that you should get this point because
Really?
because the Switch 2 did have upgrades enough for me to want to buy it. It was nothing, it had nothing to do with the Switch 2 itself, why I did not buy one. So, for that reason, I will give you the point. There are other reasons that have nothing to do with the Switch 2 itself, why I didn't buy one.
But do we count the price of the Switch 2 in this? Because the price of the Switch 2 is why you didn't buy one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
listen,
that's
but what was
not-
also funny... Oh, go ahead.
I don't think that yes, that doesn't help the situation, but I also still have an iPhone 13. So I didn't even buy a new phone this year. There are plenty,
True,
there are
but
just things. Yeah.
I would say this, but I listened to last year's episode. And we also gave myself the caveat. You gave myself the caveat if you bought even a Switch 1 because the Switch 2 came out.
True.
That I would get the point. Did you buy a Switch 2 or a Switch 1 this year?
Well, again, to me, it's worth the up or the step up in price for the Switch 2 over the Switch 1 personally. Now, I know there's a lot of people that don't think that, but I would be like, well, the Switch 2 is better enough for me. I'd rather buy that than a Switch 1.
So what I'm hearing is that Landen thinks the Switch 2 is cool enough that he would have bought one, but he didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Wes. It's kind of your judgment call. Like you were basing it on Landen's opinion, and Landen did think it was cool enough to buy one, but for various reasons did not. Not necessarily related to how cool the Switch 2 was, just related to other stuff.
All right,
that's up to you.
Like
that's
I'll take it. I'll get 1 point on this board
because there were other things that came up that needed priority financially than buying a Switch 2 or a new phone.
Yeah,
or
right.
So,
all right,
because I also
didn't
the
like.
Point. There's a lot of things that I really could use an upgrade on: new computer, new phone, things like that. Didn't get any of that stuff either. So, yeah. So like I said, I will let you have that point, even though I didn't buy one.
Okay. Fair. I'll get 1 point. I'm on the scoreboard. Thanks, guys. All right. And I did have a Hail Mary, which, it's a Hail Mary, but I wanted an Xbox phone. Do you remember that? I said, don't call it Windows Phone. And I said, do not call it Copilot Windows Phone. I said I wanted either Xbox phone or partner with ROG for an Xbox phone. I was like, I want something like that. And I was like,
partner with ROG.
They did.
You didn't get a phone, but they did partner with ROG.
So it literally could have been if it had cell service.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. So
Wes, I listened back to this last year's episode, and I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, this is the reason we didn't get an ROG phone this year. Because, listener, you may not have realized we didn't get one this year.
Yeah.
The last ROG phone came out in December of last year. It didn't happen this year. Now, there are rumors that might happen at CES because that's previously when Asus would announce their ROG phones, and that hasn't happened yet. But I blame Wes for being like, there's no ROG phone because Wes jinxed it because he wanted an Xbox ROG phone. And Asus heard that and thought, yeah, we're not going to do that.
No, we don't need that. We don't want him to, win this year. So so I got 1 point. Thanks to Landen for throwing a yellow card. Actually, here you go. Here's the pick me up. Good job, big guy. All right, so this year. So I really thought about this. And so I was like, what do I want on a wish list? Obviously, let's go ahead and let's do an Xbox hardware, but we're going to talk about the console. Not that it's coming out. What I want to know is, what is it and how is this going to work? Because they're toting that this is going to be completely different. We've heard rumors upon rumors that this is going to be Copilot PC. This is going to be, what's the chip? Three different chips in one. It's a PC chip, an Xbox chip, and a emulator chip. Like, it's just going around. I just want to know what it is. Is that fair? Like, they can come out with, they've got however many events that are coming out this year. Something's got to give this year. Say, this is what this is.
I think in order for you to find out what it is, Microsoft would have to know what it is. And I think that Microsoft is a snake with its head cut off right now and has no idea what it's doing with anything. It's just thrashing. So
true.
Good.
But hopefully Microsoft can do that, and maybe Phil Spencer and the Xbox team over here can be like, actually, here you go. Hope, right? Maybe. So I think for me to get a point to this, I at least just, maybe not so much as the console reveal, but be like, this is how it's going to work. It's not Copilot, it's this, or it is Copilot or this. That's
better freaking not be Copilot.
Oh gosh, I know I'm putting that out there, but
you know what?
Nadella's words coming out this last little bit, I'm like, oh.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be A Copilot Xbox laptop with VR headset on the side.
Oh gosh.
Or no, XR headset on the side.
You know what? If you get that, I'm taking away all your points for next year.
If I get that,
You'll
I get 20 points.
No, you get none because that is bad mojo. Don't do that. Anyway, that's what I was thinking about. I was like, that's actually what I want to know. Next thing, I actually wrote a couple things down because I was like, okay, if I don't go first, I know out of all of us, this will probably be talked about in many other wish lists. So the one thing I said I wanted that I quote on here was the AI bubble to burst. So
We're
I
all
worked
in
my way
agreement
back
on this one.
yes. And so I was like, okay, I can't have that one. So I just kind of worked my way backwards. That's because at first I was like, I want computer opponents to come down. Well, what's the cause? Okay, so I went to that. So I'll move to the next one. The next one I had written down, I was like, oh, no one will want this. I actually put Windows 12. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll go to my other one that I just kind of threw out there. So because we all want that stuff, and those are things I want. The next thing for me is I actually want, at first I was going to say streaming services to be better, but I'm going to be a little more specific in the ones that I use. And obviously Game Pass is one that I use. And what do I want to see from Game Pass? One, if you're going to keep it at $30, let me have the value. Like, I don't play Fortnite. I don't play a lot of EA games. I don't play this stuff. Like Ubisoft, like I bought all the Ubisoft. I bought Monopoly. Thank you. I don't need to spend more,
I'm done.
I'm done.
That's it.
Allow me to pick whatever little, I think about it. I'm like, I used to play Fallout, and I'd pay for their Fallout First subscription for 76. I'm like, throw that on there. That gives me value. That gives me this. Make it more valuable to me, like, or whoever. Because right now I'm like, I just don't play Fortnite. I log in to get the free V-Bucks, and then I'm done because they give it to me. But it's like, let me choose my value.
So basically, you're like, if you're going to have this streaming service cost this much, give me a checklist of different like, you don't need to just add everything to it.
Yes.
But give me the option to remove some of these things I don't use in exchange for other stuff that's not currently included.
Correct.
And honestly, the Fallout 76 one is a really good example because, I'm sorry, Microsoft, you own that one.
Exactly.
You can just...
They have the Elder Scrolls one. There's the Elder Scrolls Online. They have... You could put my World of Warcraft subscription on it. Come on!
Yeah. You don't have to negotiate with anybody to do this.
See, exactly. So
well,
that's
the problem is they know that you're going to spend money on those things outside of Game Pass.
It's true, but then, think about this. I have all these points. I'm going to probably not use it for Game Pass. Then my Game Pass subscription will probably run out when it does. And then...
Is he coming back at that point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is me. If you go back and listen to our previous episodes, I'm touting Game Pass ever since we started this podcast, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Look at where this is. Look at where I am. Like,
you're going to be on a Linux PC by the end of the year.
Hey,
dude, right? Seriously.
One of us. So
for my second one, I would say streaming service is better. I think I'll just be more specific. I want something better in Game Pass. That'll be my third strike here, since you guys, everyone's landed, pretty much took everything on there. So we'll do that. And then, of course, my Hail Mary. I've always this one. I think I've talked to you guys about this, but I can't remember if I have on or off the podcast. And I was like, this would be fun. I actually want my console war, right? Okay, what is the console war? I actually want the player console war.
Yes, we have.
I want
about this.
Xbox players versus PlayStation players versus Nintendo Switch 2 players. They're putting Call of Duty on them. They've already got Overwatch on them. They've got on all these. And I was like, thinking about it, I was like, this would be kind of fun. Because
who's got the best players?
who's got the best players, this year? Who's the sponsorships, I mean, all you got to do is contact Pepsi, and they've got all the colors. They got red Mountain Dew, they got red or blue Mountain Dew, and you've got, green Mountain Dew. Like,
Yeah.
the sponsorships, even the skins that you could put on there. Like, you got an Overwatch, say, I don't know, you got a Tracer, and you're like, oh, I'm a PlayStation, and here's my support for this PlayStation thing, and then whatever you use to spend on skins, that can go into a pot for the whatever team, and then you can, it's not like, I don't know, that's the type of war I think would be so much more fun than I have 0.5 faster this or that, like.
Yeah. Well, the other console war is over. Xbox lost. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
that-
people are still
Yeah.
wanting it to be a war, but you get my point. Like,
There's a handful of Xbox people that are like, I don't know. It's a Firefly situation, right? They've lost the war. They're in a trench somewhere, but one of them is Mal Reynolds, and he's still fighting that war in his own
Still
head. and
fighting
he
the
won't
war.
Freaking give it up. Yeah. No. It's
but
there. You go,
that's-
Xbox folks. You guys can be the brown coats. You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's the best you're getting out of this is a favorable analogy.
That's hilarious. Actually, that's a pretty good one. No, I think that would be fun. Like I said, this is a Hail Mary, but I think something like that could happen. Everything. I mean, I think this has evolved ever since they started doing crossplay, play anywhere, all this stuff. I think it would be so much fun. And who knows? Maybe at the end, if the champs are there, maybe they'll throw in a Hail Mary thing to say, okay, now you go against the PC players just because.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? But that's
Yeah.
That's a bad
but
idea.
I really think those three
It is a bad
companies-
idea for the console players.
Yeah,
But
Right.
yes,
But
that's
that's
why-
why I said that would be kind of a Hail Mary, like, here, let's just see what, But I
Yeah.
think that
No,
would be fun
honestly,
in my eye.
that would be fun. It would be really cool to have have all of the console manufacturers working together to make a community console war
Right.
instead of the business console war.
Right.
Because that's fun for the communities. That would be fun.
I don't know. That's
I
I don't
think
know
they
if I've
would get a
talked to you
lot of
about that,
engagement from it. But unfortunately, all they care about right now is AI. So whatever.
but- Yeah, I know.
Except for
This is- but
Nintendo. I
this
guess Nintendo's maybe a little bit exempt from this.
this is my wish list. Okay. This is
Yeah, the-
Yes.
The
And that's-
Nintendo has as much AI as the iPhone does.
true.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be fun. I think that'd be kind of a fun Hail Mary or something to start. Not to say that it starts and it's a big thing in a year, but like something that all of a sudden something's like, oh, hey, we're going to do an Xbox versus Nintendo or PlayStation versus Nintendo or what, just something real quick that I would like to
Yeah.
see. Something.
Honestly, even if it was just one game that's present on all three platforms to just release the statistics and be like, hey, here's the kill death ratio for the average person on PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch, and just publish that out there for the community to look at. Even if it was just that would be a great place to start.
See, what's interesting, what kind of got me on that is Overwatch does that. They actually say, here's the most
Oh, do
played
they?
character. Yeah, they say, here's the most played through top 5 characters on console versus PC, but also here's the top in other countries. And they're all vastly different.
Yeah.
Like all that. And it's so cool to see.
Yeah,
And, like,
but no, they specifically have to give the metrics. Like, I don't care who the characters they're picking are.
Right, but I
what's
was
their
saying like
performance
that.
metrics.
Yeah.
Give me their performance metrics. That's how you start a war.
Yeah.
Give
So-
them something concrete to argue over.
I think, I don't know. I think it would be a fun little war that could turn big that would be fun for the community. And so,
Yeah.
Because, I mean, being, say, on Xbox side, if all of a sudden Nintendo wins the Call of Duty thing that year, you know how much bragging rights the Nintendo guys can get? Like,
Oh,
you know
that
what I
would be
mean?
so
Like,
funny.
how fun that would be. But
Hey,
I don't
and listen, if they do start it up, then I'll hop on my PS4 Pro and do my best to drag the Sony people down.
we need you.
I was gonna say I'm your inside man, because any of these performance oriented games, you give me a controller, I suck. I'm so bad.
I think it'd be fun. Though. Come on, it would be fun. I think so.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
But that would be my Hail Mary and the last part of my wish list. now that brings us to the end of the episode. Unless, Landon, you got one more thing for us.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I'm just kidding. How funny would that be?
Wow. Live.
Just right there. All right, dear listener. We appreciate you listening to this episode, our wish list. These are our special episodes we like to come out with, and it's more entertaining, probably more entertaining for us, but what we wish
Oh,
for.
I have a great time every year.
Every year. I do. I enjoy them. So we appreciate you listening. If you want to get a hold of us or have any questions or want us to cover something or just any opinions, whichever, you can get a hold of us on callingallplatforms.com. Also on our social medias. You can take a look at our YouTube channel. There's some videos there that, you never know, something might pop up there. Over on YouTube. Some videos. All right, dear listener, have a good week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Calling All Platforms is a production of Supporter Sound Studios. To learn more about how you can support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/callingallplatforms.